Hi everyone, my name is Leanid and I'm a host of this podcast, and my first guest is my best friend Viraj.
What is up, guys? Hopefully, maybe you guys have seen me. Fortunately on your feed. I go around interviewing the most cracked builders of all time, which hopefully is Leanid, because he's the most cracked. Maybe he's clapped a bit too, but most importantly,
sometimes
he's also the most chopped, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Don't tell his girlfriend.
How many views you have across all the platforms?
Like, if you views total.
Yeah.
In my lifetime as a creator.
Yeah.
Like a little 120 million.
120 million?
120 million.
So basically, a third of the country have seen you.
Something like that.
Something
like that.
Ah, wow. So tell us more about you, Viraj. Like, it's the point of this podcast is just make sure that we can talk in depth with very interesting people in the age of 18 to 25. I think it's a very good size of.
It's like you feel like you took that age group. You took that age group out of a damn survey.
Well, I'm sorry if you're 26. Like, fuck.
Like, fuck the 26-year-olds.
So, yeah,
fucking Alexander Wang. Fine, fuck that guy.
Yeah, you're too old, man.
Fucking Sarah Gao. What the fuck?
Yeah. So. Would you say you're a content creator, entrepreneur, consultant, student? How would you describe yourself?
I'm just a guy that loves to create videos. That's just my goal. Content creator, that's one thing. It's sure, people love to say that word influencer, another thing. People like to call me LinkedIn influencer, Instagram influencer. Man, I think I just like to influence people by making videos that I wish I would have had when I was younger. That's the whole ethos of what I do.
How it all started?
How it all started?
How was the first idea? When you came up to the first idea of posting, tell us about this evening or day. What, like, you thought, oh, I want to create some content, or how was the flow of it?
Man, I'll tell you one thing. I remember I made my first video when I was 8 years old. You want to guess what I made it about?
Minecraft?
Yes, sir. Damn Minecraft videos back in the damn 3rd grade.
Oh my god.
All the way back in then. But I'd always loved the process of making videos. A lot of people just, like, they had made videos back then. I was like, man, I love making videos. It seems interesting, it seems cool. But most importantly, I really love the process of making videos. Yeah. And I feel like I've really been able to express myself as like this character online.
Yeah.
I've always been someone who like loves speaking. I love talking in ways that maybe aren't a bit personified of myself. And what better way to personify yourself than on a camera, talking to a person with a elated personality on camera?
Well, I mean, for me, I heard, and the reason why I'm doing a lot of content creation recently is I was like, well, if I don't try, I would never know. Mm-hmm. And I feel like everyone, especially who's listening to this podcast, you should try to do everything. You should try you should try surfing, you should try content creation, you should try, you should challenge yourself. And even with this, it's kind of like, I'm challenging myself. I'm not as confident on camera as this guy. And I was like, hey Viraj, we have to run this podcast. And just interesting enough is when you live interesting life, you want to show it.
You do.
And I feel like we both live in a very interesting damn life. Yeah. We build it around, like, for a context, I'm building a company, I'm investing every hour I'm awake, and I'm not
too many hours, but just enough hours.
Viraj is this guy. Whenever I see him, he's always working.
You and I both.
It's just the tale of life. Interesting enough, Viraj just needs a small corner somewhere with a socket and Wi-Fi, and he's gonna be cracking it. He's gonna be working till like, and 2 days ago, I was picking up him from SFO. We're actually right now driving in Berkeley, so there are a bunch of Berkeley kids around us.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And
all the UP stands, all the Morgan Hung stands.
All of those Berkeley kids. Yeah, and funny enough, and also like, let's call 5 Berkeley content creators.
5 Berkeley right now. 5 Berkeley.
5 Berkeley ones. Morgan,
Yuhi, Fatima.
I
I don't count myself as a Berkeley content creator. I'm just a tech content creator. Is that Morgan? Another one, as of course a big friend, Magnus. That is the main man himself, the legend. That makes sense.
Very smart guy.
Very intelligent. Yeah. One of my friends who dropped out of MET solely to help build his podcast and find himself. One of the first guys who's dropped at MIT in Stone School, I'll tell you.
Yeah, well, if you were to come up with a vision of like starting in 2025 as a content creator, what would you do as your first day in it? Like, how would you treat content creation? Would you treat it as a hobby, as just the more I input, the better my video is gonna be? Or should you be like, oh well, you do your work, you work full time and you just post on the side? Or should you be like, I need to post 15 times a day? How it all works?
I think the best ideas, wherever you are in life, for content, for startups, for damn like date ideas, come from just solitude. So I challenge anybody who's just starting out, day 0 as a content creator, to literally, this is the meta. This is like the TLDR of just making content. Sit and look at a dry wall for 10 minutes. Don't do anything. Don't look at your phone. Don't have any noise in the background. Turn off every single distracting background noise that you can.
Yeah.
And literally just sit there and think. I promise you, you'll have a golden idea in 10 minutes because you have put yourself in such a place of solitude and solace, to say, with yourself, that you are stepping into this almost euphoric sense of this euphoric mindset, and you're able to think about things much more concretely.
Yeah.
And not be influenced by outside ideas. It's just you and your mind.
Would you say you have more creativity by staring at a blank wall for 10 minutes or chatting with ChatGPT 5 Pro?
You know, I will say I never use AI for my content when actually making the videos themselves. I only use it when I'm making the captions for my videos. But I will say everything that I do comes from like random thoughts. Every single video, every single idea I've made, either I've asked someone for feedback and then implement that feedback, and then thought about that feedback afterwards too, maybe even retroactively got rid of that feedback, or it's all been from random thoughts, like literally shower thoughts, me sleeping. A lot of my great ideas for videos and improving my videos literally come from me going to sleep, like in the process of actually hitting that REM sleep and waking up in the middle of that and like putting down a note on my calendar to look at that the next morning.
Probably true, because if you think about it, if everyone uses AI to generate their content, like and the ideas for this content, it's all going to be very generic. And I think the reason why I love your content and you're getting this amount of attention and views and retention, like,
that's true,
is because it's creative. It's not like everyone else. And
I try to be creative in my videos.
What do you say? What's more important, is creativity of the content or is it discipline of posting?
That's a good question. Yeah.
Because we see a lot of amazing, especially people in the Bay, in San Francisco over the summer. They're cracked. They're amazing, extremely smart, extremely intelligent. They have infinite potential to be a content creator, but they can't. They're not just consistent. Even including me, like I can post cool stuff, but I'm just gonna I'm too locked in on work. Like I want post this. So, what do you say? Creativity or discipline is more important as a content creator?
I think if you want to be the best content creator you can be, creativity is the most important attribute to have in any content. But if you're looking to create content just as a side hobby, if you're trying to create content just to help propel your business forward, if that's your side gig, then the discipline of posting is more important. The reason why is because at the end of the day, the people who are watching your content aren't critically distinguishing between one video and another. They're just looking for videos they want to watch. And the delta between like a good video and a great video isn't as big as you think. At the end of the day, the first 3 seconds are the most important of any video, determining if someone's going to scroll or watch the video for the entirety. And so you need to figure out, firstly, what your audience is, what they love to watch, and what can I create that they will continue to keep watching. For me, that's the interviews. That's the content that I produce. But if you want to keep innovating and continue to bring in new audiences as you keep going on and become a content creator and not just a startup founder, you want to become if you want to become a nutrition creator, you want to become like a creator, the creator that everyone wants to watch. then creatively innovating will bring in new audiences, and you'll begin to continue innovating as you expand your audience and make your content as unique as it can be.
Would you say the new currency is views and retention, or
the new currency is followers? It's not views, because anyone can do views, but followers is the most validating metric you can have, because followers essentially like someone buying into you. That's the highest ticket value they can have. Outside of course buying something from the product, but like for someone who's newly watching your content, followers are the most important metric to have. That's why I think there's videos that I've made that got hundreds of thousands of views and only get me like 50 followers. There's also other videos that I've gotten like 50,000 views on, and that's gonna be like 1,000 followers.
What is the difference in strategy you use between the videos which got you 50 followers or 500 followers per 100,000 views?
Some videos are meant to be views that just drive views. Videos that drive views, right? Some videos will have, an attractive person, that people are watching the video because there's an attractive person. Other videos are about this person's story and they love the person's story. They're like, man, I just love what this person does, their mission. I want to keep watching more of this person, and I love the person who made this video because this person makes great content. And so in that same vein, you want to be able to differentiate between which one is your more goals. Usually the people on the ladder are usually more recognized. Like Jake Paul gets hundreds of million views every single month.
Yeah.
But he does not have the same followers as a younger creator that's posting about their journey, building a startup that's maybe first gen, single mother, immigrant, because it's more personal to a smaller audience. And you lose, and I think the biggest thing that holds back a lot of content creators and people forget to realize is that as you keep diversifying and making your audience larger, you lose the personal touch you began coming in with when you started becoming a content creator. Your niche audience that knew you as not just viral content creator, but just as Viraj Ala, as Leanid, as Michael Plankart, whoever it be.
So what do you say as being very niche, very specific about your story is much better than being a generalist, just by broadcasting some general idea about, this is what's happening in the industry, or this is my brain rot videos I'm publishing?
Both work. I'll say both have been proven to work, but the scope in which people appreciate your content is different.
Yeah.
So let's say you're just like a guy who has amazingly informative, cinematic videos that capture the news every single day, but do it in like a very, very expansive, creative way. You'll just be viewed as a news guy. But if you want to go from that gimmick to another gimmick and be known as not just news guy, but I want to be known as me as a person, that takes building your story and building your transparency as a creator into an audience. And that's something that I'm trying to integrate into myself. Like, for example, me mentioning more in my videos that I'm Telugu, I'm Indian, that I speak a different language, that I am a transfer, that I have worked in the places that I've worked, that I have been on content for so long. The values that I have, my mission as a content creator and what I do, that makes people more creatively binded to myself and can resonate more with my story. At the end of the day, the most important thing that people have to realize about content creation is that if someone follows you, they can imagine themselves being friends with you in real life. That's the most important thing, because...
What would you say one mistake you have done in your content creation career?
I would say the biggest thing is not exploring the creative outlet with my personality. Like, what type of content can I create that is personal to me, that still shows all aspects of me? And I think I jumped between too many projections of what I thought myself was, more like an entertainer, an educator. I think if you stick toward a niche of a personality and stick to that on camera, and you figure out what that is like on different formats, that's the most important thing. Because at the end of the day, your account's going to be Viraj Ala, it's going to be Leanid, it's going to be the Magnus effect. You can have different personalities on camera depending on the type of content you create.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't niche down into just one personality, one format, one effect too early on, because there are so many ways in which people can derive value from your content that's in just one format. Because you yourself are a multilateral, multifaceted, multi-expansive person that has so many different personalities and most important interests. and you want to be able to show that through your content and different content formats.
What do you think about the content creators who copy others?
Who copy others?
Yeah. What do you think about copying the content? Or if you copy but you modify it in your own way?
Copying works because at the end of the day, a lot of creators use taste, like the taste of content that they like, as a validating metric or quality to the type of content that they want to produce. If I watch a shit ton of Jake Paul videos, I want to create videos like Jake Paul and be doing fun boxing videos or going to Japan to film dead bodies. Maybe not that, but doing stuff around that I personally am entertained by. Mm-hmm. And so naturally, it makes sense why you'd want to copy those things if they are innately things that you want to create content on. So I think copying content creators and putting your spin on it actually is a really good way for you to understand, like, not quality control, but to understand the quality of content that other people produce and understand like what your taste in content actually looks like, and begin to picture yourself through what you're perceived to be, not what you think you are, what you're perceived to be by a follower, by an audience member, by somebody who walks you up on the street and look like, hey, that's the guy from TikTok.
4 days ago, you published a poll on your Instagram asking, would you rather have 500,000 followers on Instagram or have a Goldman Sachs offer for IB? What were the results?
The results were exactly what I thought, which is the craziest. The folks, actually, I'll say Goldman Sachs lost with a 45% margin, while Instagram, 500K on Instagram won by 55% margin, like a 10% margin between the two.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like a 42 and like a 50, like a 58. A bit skewed toward a bit like 13, 14%. Essentially, that poll was to figure out. I was in a conversation with one of my friends who I met at GT. His name is Jacob Cera on Instagram. He has about 600K followers. But I was telling him he was actually trying to go into consulting and investment banking. Even though he had 600K followers, he had done millions of views in a day in the past. He has multiple viral videos that I think you guys have probably seen. I can put some in the chat. But he was debating like, hey, why don't I just go in to working a corporate job, because I already built a business. I didn't like building a business as much. But I was saying, like, you can literally leverage the fact that you have 600K followers to get you in circles that working at a Bain, working at a Goldman Sachs can't do. They can surely give you certain things of value, but if you look at the most objective value you can gain, not from status, but also just monetary value, you have much more leverage as a 600K followed person than you are.
A cool example, like, is amazing. If you can have attention, you build communities, you build support around you, and it's interesting because I see startup world in the Valley, Bay Area slowly becomes LA in terms of content creation.
The Kardashian effect, the Kardashian effect.
Probably, yeah.
That's what it is. It's Kardashian.
I mean, look at it. Every company,
Kardashification. That's what it is. Yeah.
Every company want to have the sexiest demo. Every company want to have the most cracked UGC. Every company want to build communities around their product. And it doesn't matter if you're B2B or you're a consumer app.
Guess what does that too? YouTubers, creators. All the creators, they're in LA. They're following the street. A lot of followers, a lot of startups are following the streamer model of things, where they're billing retention, billing a lot of.
Do you think it's good for startups or it's bad for startups? Is it like previously, startup was like you do very linearly, you build up your product, you invest very heavily in a GTM, go to market, product market fit. Now we see startups with no product, no revenue, and even no idea for revenue, but millions of views. And I'm not mentioning any company, we're just generalizing certain patterns.
But it's the truth, there's so many companies, we could probably name a shit ton. That's just how it is right now in Silicon Valley. What I've seen is that the definition of what a startup founder looks like has changed. Right now, people are fighting like tooth and nail to get funding. But years ago, like 2015, 2010 even, when YC was just like a group of MIT dropout nerds that couldn't even hold a conversation with the opposite gender, boy or girl. And they still can't do that, but regardless. They can't even like look at the camera to post their YC interview demo video. It's like they're too awkward on camera, and people will come on in the comments like, dude, you're so awkward, what are you doing? You have an MIT degree. Right now, people are almost embracing like the showman culture as startup founders. They want to be recognized with 100,000 Twitter followers. They want to be recognized with podcast with their name. They want to be recognized as public figures before they've even actually built a product that actually matters. And so you'll talk to like these VCs, and these VCs will talk to these startup founders who will describe these these founders will get pitched to these VCs, or these VCs will get pitched by these founders, and they'll have like a crystal clear way of like pitching to them with all the questions answered. Like they basically are walking into a legal trial.
Yeah.
Like that's not how startup pitches work. The way it worked in the beginning is that you'd have a guy come in who's haven't showered in 5 days. He'd come in with like pizza stains on his head.
Yeah.
With like a horrible hygiene. He'd come in, he'd talk about his product for 25 minutes, not stopping. He'd just talk about the shit.
About technical stuff of the product, not the product itself.
Technical. He'd talk about just what he loves about the product, which is technical, some random bullshit.
Yeah.
And he'd just be like, if you want money, I'll do it. Sure, nice, but I'm just gonna build this shit anyway. Regardless if you give me money, I'll just go back to my parents' basement, live on damn pizza and green beans and shit, and go on my day. Now these kids are fighting, and they have like an agendized way of interpreting VC funding and talking to VCs. And it almost feels like you're streamlining and playing a character of what it means to be a dedicated founder, an obsessed founder. You're almost like virtue signaling that in a way to VCs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very performative. Literally, like not performative, like put a match in there too. But literally is the most performative way of pitching the VCs, pitching these founders, because they internally recognize that like you can just be pitched to, and these VCs will eat that up.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
they think, and they kind of understand the framework that VCs want to find these obsessed founders, but they can just cosplay obsessed founders and be performative.
So what is the worst piece of advice you got as a content creator?
The worst piece of advice?
Yeah.
I think the worst has definitely been to focus on what your audience wants. Because I think a lot of people don't understand that your audience doesn't really know what they actually want. If you ask your friends for feedback, they will give you like a half-assed answer most of the time, because they don't really know too much about social media.
What is exactly your audience? If
My
you were
audience.
to describe what your audience.
I could be really specific. First of all, a lot of them are brown, a lot of them are Indian folks.
All right.
I think they're mostly Indian folks. The people who reach out to me, the people who like actually respond, the people who like actually are engaged with the content, like follow me for me, are all Indian. Most of them are Indian, if not Asian or East Asian. Secondly, they're all usually around the college age, the 18 to 25 metric like you mentioned. They're all young people. The third and most importantly is that they're mostly guys. There's like 70% guy, which is kind of sad.
You're not getting any girls from interviews.
I've already accepted that. Like it's like 65% men and like 35% women, which is not bad. Like I'm not like Eunice Lai, who gets like 98% fucking guys.
80% dudes and
2% women, and then 2% women's like
on a good day.
On a good day. On a good day. Talking about a different 1%. You know what I mean? Yeah. My damn rich
I mean, it's very interesting, like perspective, and especially like I don't know how to say it, but Bay Area and content creation in the Bay is so ridiculous because it's so small and everyone knows each other.
Everybody knows each other, bro. You know who I met the other day in the coffee shop? In the coffee shop? You know who I met the other day around like the Seuss Adventures area? I met Michael from Cursor.
Oh my god!
I literally met Michael from Cursor. He was just showing the coffee shop. I was like, hello, let me Google this guy. This guy looks like
I'm
like a tall Ed Sheeran
right now.
Yeah, he's like, this guy looks like a tall Ed Sheeran. Hold on, let me Google this guy.
He actually looks like Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran, but he's like 6'5". He's like your height. Yeah, I'm like, damn, this guy tall as fuck. Who the fuck is this guy? Michael from Cursor. This guy like a legit, almost like a billionaire. I'm like, shit, man. Like, who's this guy? You got no bodyguards out? Shit,
and it's surprising because in the Bay you have so much wealth accumulated behind your backs, and it's absolutely not protected. Like,
no,
it's like nobody. I mean, of course, if you're
someone can run someone can run a Charlie Kirk on you. What?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's very. I mean, I think Bay Area is very unpolitical. If you think about it.
Because young people are just not political, man. People just do not care.
Yeah, people are builders. Like, and it's interesting because people will build under one administration and under the second administration. It doesn't really change. Like, and I never look at it. I mean, it's like when someone asks me, "Oh, what do you think about it?" I'm like, I can't do anything. Like, it's like I can only adapt to what's happening. Of course, we all can vote, but we can't like. It doesn't mean if one administration gets chosen or the other one, as things are changing. We in the Bay, there is only one rule: is like you have to build.
Gotta build something,
and you have to execute. So,
and you got to be. Most of the times, actually committed to that product and setting time, mental space around policy where shit doesn't really affect you as much if you're young.
Yeah.
What's the use? Not much of a use utility there.
Who is the most cracked person you have ever interviewed?
I interviewed a billionaire. His name is Manu Kumar. He has started 7 companies. He was a co-founder of Carta, which is now like a 1.7 billion valuation. He's now the CEO of Hi Hello. He's also been a founder for about like 37 years. So like he's been in the US since he was 18 and just been a founder since.
Do you think being an immigrant helps you to succeed in the Valley?
Oh, of course. You have a chip on your shoulder. The immigrant mentality of having a chip on your shoulder is nothing else. Because every single person I meet that's an immigrant and has built a company, they come from the most either traumatic or the most impoverished of backgrounds. They're the most depraved of resources when they come out here. They have the most amount of need to succeed because they have people that have to feed when they get home. They are the people who will be driving things because they need to drive. They don't want to. They don't want you to build something.
Yeah, and the other
they
point
have
is
to build something.
When you can come home to your $6 million house, which your parents own, and you know you're gonna inherit it. Like
you get your freaking lunch from Kava. You get like your damn Starbucks.
You're not as hungry, I would say, as other person who comes and is only one thing. It's like, for example, me. I came with 2 bags, not even 2, with one 20-kilo bag to this country.
Exactly.
Like, and you kind of like, and you have to build up your life from the scratch. And interesting enough, I left Belarus when I literally just turned 18, and the moment I turned 18, I left. And
wow.
I basically left everything behind. Every connection I ever had, every friend, I was a finalist at International Geography Olympiad. I won a bronze medal on European Geography Olympiad, and it's like things been going really well for me back there. And then I moved here, and I was like, oh my god! Also, I moved when the COVID.
Oh yes.
2021 in the Bay, and it was that.
It was horrible.
Like Bay Area right now and Bay Area 4 years ago are like 2 absolute different.
It's marooned. It's like a wasteland. Of culture, of experience, of people, of innovation, all of it.
You don't meet anyone. It's very depressing. It's very sad. You don't see anyone. And then I'm like, oh, what's the point of being here? But and same. I came here and I was very hungry, and I'm still very hungry, and I'm gonna be hungry. It's like I need to achieve this, and it's not just about like money. It's also about just achieving it for yourself, for your family, for people who believe in you. Exactly. And the other thing is like when your friend Viraj is achieving high results and you see it, it's just, there's no excuse for not working with the same rate, with the same pace. You're the sum of the 5 people you're around. Exactly. And greatness does not come easy. I never met a great person that had it easy. Yeah, but if they are great, then it means they weren't great. What is the most memorable interview you have ever done? The most memorable, but the most insightful. I interviewed a 65-year-old lady who spent almost 4 decades in prison as a gang member. The reason why she got into gangs? She was raped at 12. And so she used gangs as a way to bolster up and closet herself from what really happened. Was she the one who escaped later? Is it the same story? From where? I don't remember the context, but she's also a lesbian. That interesting. But she was on my channel. Her name is Dr. Blue Watkins. She's a JD candidate, by the way. She got her JD from Loyola Law School, and she now practices criminal law. But she used to. She's retired now. She just does speaking engagements. But she is very inspirational. So, how many people you interviewed in total? Over 400. Over 400 people? 428. So you interviewed 428 people? Correct. All of them are successful for their age? The most successful for their age. That's what I try to say. So, what is one lesson and one insight you have after, what do they share in common? So it's 428 people who are the most cracked for their age. What is the differentiation between them and just some random person up there? You know? They have this thing called testicular fortitude, aka putting their damn balls on the line.
They put their balls on the line because they have the courage, because they want to succeed in whatever they do. Either that means having the courage to sacrifice hobbies, friends, relationships, your girlfriend, whatever it be, your boyfriend too. Very inclusive. They'll also have the courage to push toward things, have the courage toward preaching about certain things when nobody tells them that it's actually possible. They have the courage and the balls to succeed. That's the most important thing.
Do you need to be delusional to be successful?
You have to be delusional. To be the most successful, you have to be delusional, because nobody's going to believe in you besides you. And you have to have the courage to be delusional. The courage is the most important thing to become delusional, because not everyone is born delusional. You have to become delusional because you have enough courage to actually fulfill that need of approval. You have to validate yourself and your ideas, because nobody else is going to validate what you do. Especially if you're a young person who's hungry for things, who isn't in the community of like-minded people who are pushing toward things that they want to see created in their life.
So, you would say everyone dictates their own circumstances.
Everybody can become who they want to be. I think, I personally believe my entire life, you can do whatever you can do if you put your mind to it. Whatever you can do. Whatever in the world. It takes just a little bit of hard work.
If not content creation, what would you do?
I'd become I'd become a monk. That's also what I was thinking about a lot. That'd be a great thing for me to do. Maybe at the end of my life, when I'm like 75 and I'm like old, and I'm the most most viral content creator to say.
So you transferred from UC Riverside to UC Berkeley.
Correct.
Can you tell us about the process? Like, what motivated you to do so? And funny enough, you got into Berkeley and you took a deferral for the semester to just focus on content creation.
Correct.
Tell us how you decided to do the transfer and what's the story behind it.
So I graduated high school with a 2.9 GPA. By the grace of God, I got into UCR. I wasn't even supposed to get into UCR. It was a reach school for me. UCR has a 67% acceptance rate. That means like 2 out of 3 people get in. I wasn't even supposed to be in that 2 of 3. I was supposed to be the 1 of 3 that doesn't get in. But I got in. And I told myself when I got in, that the moment I stepped on that campus, I knew I wanted to leave. And I wanted to go and build something that I always wanted to build. I didn't know what it was at the time, but I knew I could. The first thing of building anything was building yourself. Mm-hmm. So I built up the nature and the mentality of discipline. I spent almost every single day locked in my room, working on internships, working on getting a 4.0 GPA every single quarter, networking and creating videos when I was at UCR, and getting myself in the best shape as I could. I went from 140 to 200 pounds.
He's in a good shape.
I try to be in a good shape. To 200 pounds. And I had understood I tried to unlearn the limiting beliefs that I had when I was younger and make them into something that I knew I could achieve when I was getting older. And through those habits, by the grace of God, I got into Berkeley. After transferring after my first year, I became the White House's youngest ever intern in the history of interns. I broke it into Bain from a super non-target school. I got an internship at Deloitte my sophomore year. I had got a 4.0 GPA, of course, and I got accepted to pretty much all the.
What moment was it transitional for you when you realized that you have to log the fuck in?
Because you only have one life. A man knows he has 2 lives.
What exactly pushed you?
What exactly pushed me? It was the need almost for me to understand that I have so much weight on me as the oldest son. All of us come from this chip on our shoulder. Either that our dad died, our mom died. We have a need to suppress something because we were done horribly wrong when we were younger. Mm-hmm. Like the lady we talked to, Blue Watkins, who was raped when she was 12.
Yeah.
Everyone has that innate desire to do something better with their life. I realized when I was 16, when it was 3 days after COVID had officially started, we were quarantining, that I was the last hope my family had to becoming successful and to putting a lineage of not just a name for ourselves, but wealth with that name.
Yep.
And I was the only one who could do that. And I knew that if I were to become anything in my life, I had to challenge myself in ways I'd never been challenged before. Because the most successful people make the hard decisions.
So how should Gen Z keep themselves accountable for their actions and for being disciplined? How they should...
They have to understand what their actual... I think not even just their goal. Gen Z should really figure out what the most uncomfortable thing they can do should be. You grow in life and figure out yourself, not just through reading a book, listening to a podcast.
Yeah.
You grow through hard things, and you recognize who you are through these things that are difficult because you internally recognize who you are as a person. I like to think of hard decisions and hard things in life as clarity builders. You have an X amount of hard things you have to do before you can reach the person that you want to be. All it is between you and where you want to be is X amount of hard decisions. And you just have to do as many as you can. The more you do hard decisions, the more you take hard decisions, the more you can accelerate that process and become where you want to be faster, and more importantly, sooner than you wish you would have been there. And make up for the time that you already lost, because time never comes back.
I mean, it's the same as the more you work, the more lucky you become.
That's the biggest thing. I'm interviewing people that I looked up to since I was in high school. I get to meet them, not only, but even they recognize my name. Some of them added me to their close friends. I'm like, what do I do? I'm 21, man. I used to watch you on the damn toilets when I was 16. I'm on their damn close friends. Like, what is this life that I get to live?
Does content creation help you to get into the rooms where you're not invited?
It allows me to be in the rooms I never thought I would be invited in the first place. It allows me to create almost rooms of people that are able to propel their lives forward because of the people that I'm able to connect. Today I connected somebody, I got someone hired, I got someone who had 6-7 months, unintentionally I said that, by the way, no pun intended, unemployed, now has a job because I was connecting with a founder that I had met in Georgia.
Yeah.
Now they are able to put food on the table, they're able to actually have income, and most importantly, actually do the things they want to do and not sit at home and beat their meat all day. Not like it's a bad thing, but it's amazing to see the impact you can have on people and create things that people actually want to see because you took the decisions to do something that was hard. Nothing worth doing in life is not going to be hard. It's going to be hard decisions to do something that's worthwhile. But at the end of your life, do you want to be the person who wished they would have done something, or do you want to be the person who did everything and lived the life that they could have because they said, I am not a should have, I'm a must have person. I must have this thing. I must do this thing.
Yeah.
That is the most important thing. So.
Well, but tell us about your experience in a White House. Like,
yeah?
He's the youngest intern.
The youngest White House intern ever, I like to say.
You met Joe Biden, right?
I did meet Joe Biden. I met Joe Biden. I met Kamala Harris. I met the press secretary. Give me a handshake.
It's like,
yes, man, let me get a dap up.
Handshake away from Joe Biden.
Pleasure to meet you. I might handshake away, yes. And President Trump, by the way. So, but basically means me and Trump and Biden are boys, but shit,
hey, Donald Trump,
some calm. I haven't met Donald Trump yet.
Yet.
Some light. Next interview, low-key. Nah. But I think the biggest thing that I recognize that when I went to the White House, I recognized that people are just people. And that literally the fact that you can do anything you want in life if you just put your mind to it. There were people who I'd met who were the parents of janitors who didn't even come to America speaking English as their first language. And they were leading policy, they were leading people at the White House, at the peak of governance in the world.
Yeah.
These are some people who literally were not supposed to be there, but they were able to be there because they put their mind to it, man. It's so simple.
This is the best part about this country.
The American dream is so real. I hate whenever someone says, the American dream is not real. It is so real. It's the truth.
If you just dedicate yourself, if you put in hours, if you
hours, days, years, decades.
So what exactly you did in the White House?
I was working on AI workforce transformation policy. There's a lot of buzzwords there. Essentially, it's helping define AI policy around hiring people who do AI related work from unconditional or unconventional backgrounds, that being the armed forces, that being people who are not citizens of the United States. Those are people who have served in the armed force, people who are re-entering the workforce after a break, people who are not technical, we're not certainly in the technical space, like not an AI related background, who want to get in the space through certifications. People like in those categories who can provide to the federal government and the broader American people, but just don't have the pathway built out for them already.
So you're building the American dream for...
I was building on private, unfortunately, but I was building the American dream.
Well, can you imagine how much influence your blog have produced over young people like me in terms of the insights and...
My blog?
Yeah.
I thought about it. I really have thought about this, like the impact that I made on young people, and I think like...
And it's very unmeasurable impact, if you think about it.
It is. Like, people can like walk up to me like, hey Viraj, I've seen you on LinkedIn, I've seen you on TikTok. Like, it's cool, but like I don't know the exact measure of value, and I think that's the beauty of it though. Is that you'll never know what someone will be able to do with your content and the value you provide. But that's the way it should be, because that's the way that a mission should be. You should never know the value of the mission, but you should be dedicated to the mission wherever it be. I think it's like if you think about like cashing out, getting IPO'd, getting acquired, right? At some point, that's like the end of your mission. You can't grow anymore. You can grow anymore, but it's not on your mission. It's not the vision you created it for. And so naturally, I think it's the same way where if you create a social media profile, you create like a following, you shouldn't know what the impact is until you actually made it. And that can be forever and ever.
So what do you think about VC funds and angel investors putting money into content creators?
I think they're all paying attention to the influence economy and the attention economy. Every single VC has understood the fact that getting VC funding at this point now is just glorified sales. Why do you think? There's a guy I was talking to, right? And he has an agency where he hires attractive women to sit in the background of closer calls. And those close calls,
I know whom you're talking about.
We both know the guy. We both
know him.
Those calls get a 75% increase in closes. 75% increase. That's literally like 3/4.
A16Z owns TikTok now, which is amazing, which is very interesting.
Amazing for the brain rotters of the world. Amazing for me as a content creator. I'll say that much. But A16Z making that, actually, it's a bit funny. I thought it would be a Blackstone acquiring it.
Oracle. I mean, it's a very interesting structure of a deal.
It's like a three-way trade. Like like the.
And ByteDance still owns 20%. I feel like I think so.
That's crazy. They got a bit of their own company. I want to know how much they paid for it. That's the main thing.
So would you, if you got an offer from a VC fund saying, hey, we want to invest in you $500,000 in the exchange of 10% of your trademark.
The YC deal? No, that's not YC. That's like half a YC. The YC is a 5 for 5. 5. Yes. If I were to get invested in by a VC, what would I do?
Will you take a deal?
Would I take it? I think.
I mean, also it's interesting, like how you treat this 500K. Just like in a company, it's very linear and understandable how you spend your money. You of course it adjusts, but general idea is like you do more hiring, you spend it all on credits, blah 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 blah. Content creation, you probably hire more editors.
I'd hire editors, and also I'd plan for flights. I'd buy the shittiest of flights, of course. I'd buy the Spirit flights of the world. Maybe I'd buy maybe I'd eat like a breakfast instead of just skipping breakfast. Maybe I'd do that. But I think my quality of life would be the same because I don't really care too much. I mean, I make a great amount of money. I'm very blessed to be in the position I am right now. I still live like a nomad. I have like a small desk. I live with in like a closet that has somehow a room with another person too. Yeah. And I eat the same food every single day. I love what I do, and I just eat the same. I eat the damn sound.
It was interesting for me because the deviation, if you rang the things I got, was like this car was a top, and the second expensive thing was my laptop.
Your laptop.
And like,
my most expensive purchase is my laptop in my life.
Yeah, so it's like, I think it's very interesting because everyone who lives with an ambition to achieve high results are not the biggest eagers to spend it all.
No, there's no value. Like remember I got an Xbox for my birthday. I have a friend who got me an Xbox for my birthday, and even when I was 16,
yeah,
it faded. But this elation that I have for content, this elation I have for building a brand of value to people, which sounds so gimmicky, but like literally just like a brand, like a building more so like the content that I love to make every single day. That's so like a euphoric feeling that I cannot separate from myself.
My most insane feeling is to understand that I get views when I sleep. I'm getting viewed when I'm cooking my rice and chicken. I'm getting viewed while I'm driving. It's like that someone in the meantime is watching the content. Someone is
probably somewhere watching my video right now.
Exactly.
That's the craziest part. Because I did like a search. I have 75 million watch hours of time. Yeah. 75 million people have spent, or 75 million hours of time have been elapsed from people's lives watching my videos. Yeah. That's the craziest thing. That's literally my entire lifetime. That's more than my entire lifetime. 75 million hours divided by 24, that's like what? That's that's like,
I don't want to think about it.
Oh my goodness, that's years. Like 3.75 million days. Humans live for what? Like maybe let's say we live 100.
Yeah.
What? 36, maybe like 35,000 days. You know how many people could have spent their entire lives watching my videos and died and still woke up and watched my videos? Like, oh my goodness, man.
And that's a very interesting perspective to put it on. And I feel like the current economy is shifting towards like content, attention, recognition. Because also, if you can influence people to back you up, it means everyone want to back you up with money. Best talent will want to work with you because you can lead people.
And people will see you in their face. They don't have to see you in person. They can know. They can make them feel something that nobody else can make them feel. And that's the beauty of content. The content is your intro for wherever you want.
It opens you the door into... It invites you not just in a room where you want it to be. It invites you to the room where you never would expect to be.
Exactly. I mean, I went to pickleball like in LA once after an interview with somebody, and there were people literally there. Like I think I told you, like there were multi-million follower content creators, people I've been watching since I was like 14.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were like the Botes sisters over there.
Yeah. I'm
like, these Botes sisters are like insanely viral. People like line up, spend hours trying to find these people, and I was just playing pickleball with them. What the like literally, I'm like, what am I here doing this?
Yeah. I mean, Bay Area is very interesting. Like, I talked with Sam Altman, I spoke with Jensen, and it just puts into perspective like how freaking ridiculous it is. And I think the very high importance is not just who you know, but who knows you.
Who knows you? That's a good way to put it.
Because I once interviewed one of Russian billionaires, Oleg Tinkov. He actually studied at Berkeley.
Go Bears, buddy.
And one very interesting thought he said is like, there was a clerk in one of the most expensive hotels in London.
The clerk.
And this clerk knew everyone on Forbes 100. Like, everyone knew him.
Everybody there.
Everyone knows him. And he knew that.
Right.
But the Forbes list was changing, but the concept haven't changed. As a 25 years old, he was a clerk, and still now he's a clerk in the hotel.
To this day.
So the question is like, you can know the richest people on the planet, the most influential ones. But if you don't use this network to ask, it's like
life is a very leverage-based game.
It's very
life is only about leverage. Money, time, your partner, all these things.
I mean, it's kind of... I heard a very interesting quote is, the fish which never opens its mouth never gets caught.
Right.
But in the meantime, is the fish
which
never opens its mouth dies because it's never got the food.
It never gets fed.
So, and it's the question is like, should you be silent at certain points? Probably yes.
Mm-hmm.
you should talk. You should put yourself out, and I don't know, Viraj. We live only one life. If you think about it, we have only one life to make it big.
That's true.
So
we also have one life to live.
And
one life to live.
In your 20s, you only have 10 summers.
That's true.
And if you put this in a perspective of like,
2 summers already gone. For me.
Summers, yeah. Same for me.
I have 8 more.
So.
Wait, are you 21 or 22?
Just turned 22.
No, you have 3 summers. 20,
20. Yeah. But I have a summer birthday, so I don't know how to.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forget it was my birthday. I have a March birthday. March, everybody.
So yeah, I mean it's just a very different perspective, but I mean that's why what I learned from Berkeley. It's not really about the knowledge. Like the knowledge is not as different from community college. Like all of the lectures are out, all of the slides are out. You really never being taught by a professor. You're usually being taught by a dude who is 1 year above you, who is a JSI.
Or you're getting taught by ChatGPT.
Or just TA. Huh?
You're getting taught by ChatGPT.
Yeah.
That's usually the case.
And it's interesting because it's like the knowledge itself is not very incremental. Like, yeah, if you do very deep research or if you're like, maybe, sure. But if you think about it generally, the reason why you go to school is to get the network. Meet the people, meet people who will know you, whom you will know, and whom you will know how to leverage. And yeah, it is very transactional.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think about it, everything is extremely transactional these days.
And life is a leverage-based game. As long as you get the transaction out of the person, does it really matter about the emotion they have you receive? If your goal is just to get to that?
Extremely transactional people. It's like when you obviously see that the only one thing they're looking from you is something.
Right.
It always should be win-win.
Right.
It's like if I ask someone for something, it's like I expect to get it, but also pay not the same but more to the person. And I think with this mindset, you're able to build up your network in a much more responsible and trustworthy way.
You build not just efficacy to your name, but you'll build a lot of credibility to what your impression of yourself is. Because I think being continually credible as somebody in a community enhances your own credibility as a person.
Yeah.
And naturally that increases your own self-efficacy. You are known as this person who does this, and you're able to be a person that people know and want to be around. That increases your own credibility to yourself. You know innately that you are this person and people want to be around. And so naturally just makes you more likely yourself.
Exactly. So what is one thing that you're looking forward by the end of the year?
End of the year? Interviewing. I want to be able to interview someday this year someone who has made who has gotten 100 million followers.
Well, it's a very limited amount of people if you think about it.
But it's possible.
What is the one person you're actually looking forward to interview?
Have you heard of Peter Cullen?
Yeah.
You know who that is?
Yeah.
The voice of Optimus Prime. If there's one person I can attribute my childhood to, it's Optimus Prime, without any regard. That is the one idea, the one character that has championed my childhood. That is my childhood. Optimus Prime and Transformers.
Yeah.
That's it. And if I could meet the person who created my childhood and ask them the questions that I'm trying to democratize in the mission that I have now, that's like a feeling that I've never met.
Yeah.
The person that's championed my childhood. The person that has led me to be as elated and as courageous as I can be. And being that person.
So Viraj, for every viewer we have right now,
mm-hmm.
what is one piece of advice you would leave to them?
I always tell everybody, You know what you really want if you make enough hard decisions to tell yourself what you really want. You know what you really want. A lot of people everyone these days is too scared to admit what they actually want. And it's too hard to do what you actually want. Because it takes two things. It's a lot of capital, a lot of time. It's very difficult. But you only live once. And if you can just do that thing and experience it, that's better than not ever doing it. And living your life full of regret. That's the one mission, the one advice, the one tip I'd leave anybody today. Because you were not born on this earth to die and pay your bills. You were on this earth to do something greater than yourself.
Amazing. That was Viraj Ala. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you.
Stay tuned for the next part. Hopefully, maybe someday.
Looking forward. See you guys.
Bye, guys.